the truth, I'm living it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline. That's me. And don't mind me, I'm just being a little goofy. I'm just in a silly goofy mood. If you watch TikTok, the girls will get it. Anyways, like y'all already saw with the cute intro, I'm going to be doing another wig install, a start to finish, walking guys through the whole process. Today we're going to be working with this wig from Nadula Hair Company. This is a pre-dyed highlighted wig from them. It's a frontal, a 13 by 4, I believe 24 inches, and just a standard 150% density. Here's how she's looking right out of the box, straight out of the pack. Fortunately for me, the only prep work I'm going to have to do is pluck the hairline so it can be more natural and more thinned out to my liking. It did come with a middle part already parted out for me, which is great. So I don't have to do any like bleaching of the knots as well because the hair is already dyed this brown blonde color. So yeah, let's get right into the plucking portion of this wig install. So before I start plucking my wig, I like to use the tissue paper that comes with the packing of the wig, and I use this to place over my canvas heads. And the reason I do this is because it gives me something white to pluck on, which just makes the knots a lot visible whenever I'm plucking over something that is white. So once I've, pinned the wig onto my canvas head and everything, get it nice and secure, I'm using my hot comb on the highest heat, I believe 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm just using that to help push back the hairline so I can really see what I'm doing. You can get the same effect if you pluck the hair while it's wet and just, push it back or slick it back when it's wet, but I don't like plucking my hair wet anymore because I realize it's much more thinner because it's wet. So sometimes I end up over thinning the hairline because I don't see how much I need to actually pluck, and I do end up over plucking or sometimes under plucking because I thought I plucked a lot, and then once it becomes dry, I realize, oh, I didn't pluck in. I'm taking this moment to pause and add this freeze frame to just kind of explain the purpose of plucking, and hopefully this kind of helps you guys as you are trying to get better at your wigs. So as you can see right here, as I have this hairline pulled back, you see how the front is slightly thinner and it starts to get more thick towards the back as you go deeper into the hairline. This wig was slightly pre-plucked by the company. So what I'm trying to do is I want to thin it out more to make it more realistically like my hairline. If you look at your hairline or anyone's hairline, most of the time we don't have a very full, thick front part of our hair. It doesn't start off very thick. It starts off thin and it gets thicker as we go towards the back. Now, you could definitely stop where this wig is like this, how it's pre-plucked. You can go ahead and install it like this and it'll be okay. But, I strive for perfection, so I'm going to make this more realistic so it can look as, scalpy on it as possible. What I'm going to do, which you'll see me in the next few clips, is to help me not over pluck or over thin the front part. Since it's already thinned out, I pull the front part out. I do this regardless if it's not pre-plucked or not. I just always learned that pulling out the front and plucking behind the start of the hairline helps you not over pluck. I'll explain more as we go, but I just wanted to kind of pause right here to explain for those of you who are beginners or just kind of had more questions and concerns. But let's get back to the tutorial, right? The tweezers I'm going to be using are from Revlon. These are slant tip tweezers. I'm going to link them down below. These are my favorite tweezers to use. And since they are a slant tip, you want to make sure you are plucking tip pointing downwards. First thing I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and pull out the front section, the thinnest part of the hairline. I start plucking behind the very thinnest part because it's already been thinned out, so I want to preserve it for last. This kind of helps me prevent over plucking. Now let's get into the actual plucking and what I'm doing. 3 things to keep in mind when you're plucking as a beginner or just anyone in general. 1, pluck, skip, meaning as in you are not plucking in the same place or the same line as you're going down in the hairline. You pluck a space, skip a space, pluck a space, skip a space. Number 2, pulling the hair out from the root. Make sure you're pulling these hairs out from the root. Do not just be pulling the strand of hair. You got to pull it from the root for it to have a clean, thinned out look. Number 3, as you're pulling from the root, you're not trying to pull the hair upwards like you would if you pull like a chin hair off, You're doing more of a dragging backwards motion with your tweezer. So I'm doing more of a dragging backwards pulling motion. It's not more of a plucking like up and down, if that makes sense. Hopefully visually you understand what I'm saying. So I try to keep all three of those things in mind, you know, pluck, skip. Number 2, pull from the roots. And number 3, I'm dragging back, not dragging up. I have a more detailed tutorial, which I will make sure to link down below or have it on the top of the screen if you want to take a moment to get more, you know, detailed with how to pluck. But hopefully this makes sense. And these clips are not fast forwarded because I want you guys to see just exactly in real time how I'm plucking. As I'm plucking, skipping a line, plucking, skipping a line horizontally, I also try to make sure that I'm taking my tweezers further back into that hairline. I'm not just plucking right at the front. If you've been paying attention to trying to like visually understand what's going on, my tweezers it's no longer placed in the front where it was. I'm now going backwards into the hairline to thin out the hair a bit more behind. You know, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, y'all.
There's pen black girls in my area cold. Dark skin, light skin, medium tones. Perm braids got mini afros. Thick lips got hips, some of us don't. Big nose contour, some of us won't. Never wanna put us in the media, bro. Want a fat beauty like Kardashians, no. Want a fat beauty like my eye got, yo. Wheel up the blood clot, tell her reload it. I've got the camera, my girls are posing. I need some backup, then my ones are rolling. Grown woman thinks I'm never at risk. Mind my own business, I'm never in mess. Who am I ain't big, get a slice of the cake. Want a house with a view and a new pair of shoes. Keep it real from the jump, Gucci gang. Little vibe, little bass, little kick, little snare. Little lies, big truths, do you, they don't care. Do you, they don't care. Get your ass out the box and build up from there. I don't have a gang with me, but I still walk with a gangster lean. I rock Nikes cause we think they're clean. MJ leather jacket beating Billie Jean. MJ leather jacket cause I think I'm bad. That's cool, I like it. The growth, the light, the pain, the fight. We love, we fight, we hurt, we cry. We pay the price, you'll be I think I need some time away. I took a little time. I pray we gon' be alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay. I think I need some time away. I took a little time. I pray we gon' be alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay. And you said there's pink black girls, not area code. These black girls need to be in the shows. Be on the runways, not just mood boards. On top of that, I wanna see when you're teen. Look at your crown, natural relax to the Jericho. On time, soft and sheen. Where black girl magic is sometimes blue. Man broke a hairband or two. Raise my voice, she gonna say that I'm angry. Kiss my teeth, and now you say that I'm hood. Hit at 16, you say it's my destiny. Driving a range, you think I'm up to no good. Give us a break and let it breathe.
So now I've finished plucking this side of the wig, and I'm just trying to push all the hair back, push everything to the front using my hot comb to help, you know, clean the hairline up so I can see everything again. And once I can see how it's looking, I usually kind of know by now how plucked I want it to be. It's all on preference. I like mine to be mediumly plucked, not too plucked. So once I've pushed back the hairline, I go in with my tweezer and I'm just kind of like slightly plucking a little bit of the front because it's just a little bit too dense for my liking. But I don't like to pluck way too much because now I won't have any baby hairs to play with, you know. So I'm just plucking a little bit, and I'm still also at the same time going a bit further into the back of the hairline like I was before. I'm just basically cleaning it up. With the hairline all the way pulled back, everything pressed back, I can kind of also see where I need to pluck a bit more. So here you mostly see me going not really in front of the hair, but still doing that behind the hairline and just trying to, you know, create where I feel like needs more gaps and spacing. I'm just giving y'all a bit of a side-by-side before and after to show you the importance and the difference that plucking does make. As you can see, the plucked version on the right is, I feel like to me, it's giving more natural hairline because my hairline is not that full as the left. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side off camera and come back for our installation. Now we are ready to install. So before I install my wig, I always tint all of my wigs, and I tint my laces using a concealer shade that is most closest to me. Today I'm trying out this e.l.f. concealer that I picked up. I'll put the shade down below, and I feel like it was a pretty good match for my skin tone. So I just go ahead and buff the concealer into the lace and just get it nice and covered on the parts that's going to show on my head. And then I use my blow dryer to help just, you know, dry all of that up to set it so it's not over here slipping and sliding on my forehead when I'm trying to, you know, install the wig.
The price you'll be. I think I need some time away. I took a little time. I pray we gon' be alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay. I think I need some time away. I took a little time. I pray we gon' be alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay. And you said there's pink black girls, not area code. These black girls need to be in the shows. Be on the road.
As far as bald cap or not to bald cap, I'm not a bald cap girl. I do wear wig caps under my wigs, but I do like to just push them behind my actual hairline so it doesn't show under the lace. The only reason why I wear a wig cap is just to protect the combs on the wigs from getting stuck to my braid. So if you're gonna wear a wig cap, make sure you are pushing it back so it's not, you know, peeping under your lace. Now I've gone ahead and slapped my wig on. She's looking really nice and plucked. This wig, I already knew this install was about to eat once I saw how well I plucked it. Like, ooh, I'm just excited, guys. This hair looked so good at the end. Once I got my wig nice and secure onto my head, I'm just going ahead and just, you know, trying to cut around my ears and cut off that excess lace so that it can lay perfectly onto my head.
We hurt, we cried, we paid the price you'll be.
To help me lay down my lace, I am using this Ebon lace spray. You know her, I love her. This is a glueless spray, meaning it's not an actual glue. It does help me lay and melt my lace down, but it is water resistant, not waterproof. Meaning that, like, you know, you can get a little bit sweaty, you can wear it out to the club, get a little heated, and it's not gonna move. But you can't swim in this wig, and if you don't wrap your lace when you're wearing it in the shower, it will come off. So keep that in mind. Now for a cute little tutorial on how I use the spray. So I go ahead and just spray it as close to the front of the hairline as possible where the hair stops. And I use my finger to help spread that product around. This helps make sure I'm getting a nice and even lay. Then I get my blow dryer on a cool, not hot, cool setting. And with the help of my rat tail comb here, I'm just pushing that lace into my skin and everything to just really help get that melted look. And I'm really using the back of that rat tail comb to really push the lace down. Once I can feel the lace is nice and stuck, I'm gonna go ahead and use either a brow razor, or in this case I'm using cuticle scissors, like nail cuticle scissors, and I'm just trying to cut in a jagged motion to help the lace lay more naturally, because cutting straight across is gonna make it look more wiggy, and we're not trying to do wiggy, we're trying to give us scalp. I'm also going ahead right here on the sides and pulling down my sideburns or my side baby hairs, and this kind of just helps really pull the side lace down, because sometimes the sides don't want to stick, so pulling down the baby hairs just kind of helps it stick better.
With a view and a new pair of shoes, keep it real from the jump. Gucci gang, little vibe, little bass, little kick, little snare, little lies, big truths. Do you? They don't care. Do you? They don't care. Get your ass out the box and build up from there. I don't have a gang with me, but I still walk with a gangster lean. I brought Nikes cause we think they're clean. MJ leather jacket, beat it Billie Jean. MJ leather jacket cause I think I'm bad. That's cool. I like it. The growth, the line, the pain, the fight. We love, we fight, we hurt, we cry. We pay the price you'll be. I think I need some time away. I took a little time. I pray we gon' be alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Okay.
now that I've glued down the lace all around, I'm just trying to go ahead and use this towel that has water on it to help clean up the little spray residue that I have. Since the spray does come off with water, it's really easy to clean up any extra sticky residue. So just get a little bit of water on a napkin and just, wipe that off. I have a bit of lifting and a little bit of a whiteness because the lace sometimes will lift whenever you try to cut it, So all I do is I just go ahead and spray the end of my rat tail comb with that same spray, and I just use that to help push down any lifting that I see. To make sure I do not get any extra lifting, before I start sweeping my baby hairs, I like to get my elastic band and just lay down the lace and let that sit for another 10 minutes just to ensure that the lace is dry and everything is pushed down nice and flat, because lifting is so annoying, especially when you're trying to sweep your baby hairs. While I'm letting my lace simmer, I'm going in with this little comb. I'm just trying to brush out the pre-manufactured curls. I just like to brush them out because it's going to make it so much easier when it comes to detangling. Don't be with the people who just wears their curls right out of the box, because the way the curls look out of the box is not the way they're supposed to look in the final process. You got to break down those old curls so you can see the beauty of the real curls later when you detangle it. Another thing I'm doing here is I'm just trying to clean up my part and widen it a bit more. I found that making your part a little bit wide gives it a very much more natural look. But don't make it too wide. You're not trying to make the Red Sea or whatever sea it was that Noah parted. Was it Noah? Jesus Christ. Who parted the Red Sea? Moses. My bad. Mother, forgive me. It's very late. Anyways, so I'm over here using some concealer as well. Some light shade concealer. This is what I use for my under eyes. I'm using that to just clean up that part to make it pop. And since I did overplug just a little bit, I have a brown eyeshadow pencil that I'm going to go in with to help me just clean up any little gaps and spaces. And doing this step really just makes that part look so crisp and neat. Look at that. Ooh, girl. Honestly, now I'm looking at these clips, I didn't even have to add baby hairs. I'm starting to feel like baby hairs aren't really unnecessary or not that needed, but I like the aesthetic because this hair was giving me a scalp. It was already looking slayed without the baby hairs, but I'm gonna put some baby hairs anyways because I like them. For my baby hairs, what I'm doing right here is I'm just gently using my comb at the end of the baby hair brush I use, my edge brush. I'm just using that to help break down the cast from the spray, So you just want to gently comb that out gently. You don't want to rip out the hair. Just gently comb it out to help soften it and let it come down. And here I'm just trying to see where exactly I want to place the hairs. And then I use the same lace spray to spray over the baby hairs. And this is something I started doing. Doing this helps me make sure those hairs will lay down. You can use a hot comb for this, but honestly, I always end up burning myself when I do that. So spraying it just works a lot better for me. And then I'm going to go in with my little razor comb and just try to get a nice jagged cut diagonally on the hairs to get them nice and short. And I'm going to use my Eco Styler gel to help me just, go ahead and swoop them baby hairs. I kept it real simple. I did the same thing with baby hairs. I feel like I like them big, but I like a little bit of them, But yeah. my baby hairs are done laying, I'm just using this elastic band again to help set everything in place and to hold my wig down, because it's a detangling process, your wig will lift. So now let's talk about the detangling and curl defining process. Today I just decided to use a little bit of mousse and a little bit of water. You can honestly get the same results with using just straight up water, but sometimes mousse helps the curls last a lot longer and can help prevent frizz, but it's not going to really change how the curl pattern comes out, in my opinion. So here I'm just putting some mousse and some water onto the hair, and I am brushing everything out with my detangling brush and making sure I'm scrunching everything. While I was detangling the hair, I saw this cute little TikTok, and this girl had her hair in this certain hairstyle, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that out, because it's not everyday middle part, side part. Sometimes give the girls a hairstyle, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here I'm just using my water and just trying to spray the roots of the hair so I can easily slick everything back, and everything will slick back nice and, you know, flat. I'm just going in and just brushing it all backwards. This is a very super easy hairstyle. And y'all see that hairline? You see how plucked it is? That's the importance of plucking. If you don't pluck, you can't achieve this hairline without looking like you have a wig on your head, like an actual auntie wig, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm just parting back half of the hair, and I literally just get a butterfly clip, and I just, you know, clip it and flip it upside down. I don't know how to explain with my words what I just did, but you know, the visuals. I hope the visuals help. Sorry. So here I'm just taking off the elastic band to see how the hair is looking. And first of all, the hairline, let's get into it. This hair was melted and slayed. Like, y'all see that? Melted, slayed, okay? Trust the process. But I wasn't really feeling just the hair pulled up like that, so I went ahead and pulled out some 2 pieces in the front, which unfortunately my camera died during that part. But I promise, guys, it wasn't that hard. I just pulled out 2 pieces of hair out in the front to help give me this look that I was kind of going for. I like it more like this. It's giving kind of like Y2K baddie in a way. But that's really it for the hair. I went ahead and just did some light makeup to, you know, freshen myself up for y'all for this outro. And here's the finished look. Like, ew, I felt really cute. I really liked this hair and the hairstyle, and I was really happy with how melted everything came out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this tutorial. Hope you found it helpful, entertaining, whatever it may be. I gave y'all guys a little bit look of how it looks in the back. Since the hair is like not pulled up all the way, the tracks in the back of the hair is not showing. Like, it's a very seamless look. I liked it. It was cute. It's very fun. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.